Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Shankaram Loka Shankaram Apara Karuna Sindhum Jnanadam Shanta Rupinam Shri Chandrasekhara Gurum Pranamami Udan Maham.
Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Shankaram Loka Shankaram Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande GurorMandalam. With the abundant blessings of our Acharya Swamiji, we have come to the penultimate day of our Jnana Yajna Vande GurorMandalam, studying Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada Stotras. We have covered Ganesha Bhujangam, Guru Ashtakam, many Shiva Stotras, including Shivananda Lahari, many Devi Stotras, including Saundarya Lahari, and many Vishnu Stotras. Tomorrow we are completing the Yajna, Jnana Yajna. Right now we are in Manikarnika Ashtakam, shloka number 7.
Namaskaram. Tvattire maranantu mangalakaram devairapi shlaghyate shakrastam manujam sahasranayanair drashtum sada tatparaha ayantam savita sahasrakiranaihi pratyugdato bhutsada punyosau vrushagothava garudagaha Kim mandiram yasyati.
In Manikarnika Ashtakam, we have been seeing Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada enunciating the greatness of Kashi as a kshetra, enunciating the greatness of Ganga as a nadi, enunciating the greatness of Manikarnika as a ghat in the Ganga. And he has gone into great detail of the great festival of death on the banks of Manikarnika, Prayana Utsava. So at that time, what happens to the departed soul? They attain Sayujya, either Vishnu Sayujya or Shiva Sayujya. They become Narayanas or Rudras. And Brahma has created this Kshetra of Kashi in order to bless people so that they will find a way out of this samsara sagaram. So now he is continuing with eulogizing the greatness of Manikarnika Ghattam. Sattire maranam tu mangalakaram devairapi shlaghyate. Death on your banks is auspicious. This is the first time we hear that death is auspicious. We always consider death as inauspicious, isn't it? Even when we refer to aparakaryam, we don't want to say that in the same breath as Mangala. We talk about it in hushed tone, we talk about it separately, all that. That is our nature, because death is not auspicious. After death, you contract what is known as ashaucham, which really means impurity. Something brings you impurity, it has to be inauspicious only, isn't it? That is the way the story has been woven around it. But here it is different. Here it is auspicious, because what was inauspicious was not the death actually. Now we are understanding it as death, because we are getting separated from that person. So separation is misery, so it is inauspicious. That is our understanding at the normal human level. But what is actually inauspicious about that death is, the ordinary death is, that the person is going to come back to the cycle of samsara. That is what Vedanta teaches again and again. What you should consider as inauspicious is not the separation, but the fact that that Jiva is going to return to earth in some form or the other and continue with the cycle of samsara. That is what is inauspicious. If he had broken from the cycle of samsara and merged with Paramatma, that is auspicious because there is no more return. That is what is happening here, so it is auspicious. Devairapi shradhyate. Even Devas eulogize this, praise this. Chakrastam manujam sahasra nayanair drashtum sada tatparaha. With his 1,000 eyes, Chakra, Devendra, is eager, always eager, sada tatparaha, too eager to look at this person because this is something very rare. On earth, how many people attain this kind of moksha? Very rare phenomenon. Something rare we all rush to see, isn't it? Any rare phenomenon. If something happens in the sky which is something rare, people go, even astronomers go, no, this is a very rare combination of planets. Even astronomers spend hours looking at the sky. So like that, any rare phenomenon is something eagerly looked at. So here, this is a very rare phenomenon that a jiva is directly attaining Sayujya and breaking away from the cycle of birth and death, which even Indra cannot do. Even Indra on his Bhogakshaya has to come back to earth. When that is the situation, so he is very sort of surprised. So who is this lucky person? So he wants to come and see him with his 1,000 eyes, not with his own eyes, with his 1,000 eyes. Ayantam savita sahasra kiranaihi pratyudgato bhut sada. Similarly, Savita, Surya Bhagavan, with his 1,000 rays, Indra with his 1,000 eyes, Surya Bhagavan with his 1,000 rays. Ayantam, this person who is coming out of the earth, breaking out of the state of Jiva. He is no more Jiva now. He is breaking out of the state of Jiva. And he is merging with the Supreme. So that great personality is coming out. So he is rising in respect and welcoming him. Pratyudgataha abhut. Pratyudgataha. He gets up and welcomes him because he is up in the sky and this man has to cross Surya Mandala before going to Vaikuntha or Kailasa. Everyone has to cross Surya Mandala. So because it is on the way, he rises and welcomes him and he becomes extremely happy. This happens all the time, sada. Punyosau vrishagothava garudakaha kim mandiram yasyati. This Punya Purusha, asau punyaha, this Punya Purusha, this sacred person, who is this sacred person? Is he going on a sacred bull, sacred Nandi, or is he going on Garuda? Because the Vahana indicates the place to which he is going. If he is going on Garuda, he will go to Vaikuntha. If he is going on Vrishabha, he will go to Kailasa. So he first looks at the Vahana before he looks at the person. If you look at the person also, you will know because one bears the marks of Vishnu, another bears the marks of Rudra. But perhaps the Vahana is more easy to look at. So, Vrishagothava Garudaha Garudagaha Kim Mandiram Yasyati. Which place he is going to? It has to be one of the two, either Kailasam or Vaikuntham. So, which one of these two he is going to? That is clearly known by whether he is on a Vrishabha or whether he is on a Garuda. So, death on your banks is very auspicious. Even Devas cannot stop themselves from eulogizing that person. Even Devendra, the head of Devas, with all his 1,000 eyes, he comes out of his mansion and looks at this person because he is also going to go past Indraloka. So, he is very eager to see this person, this rare phenomenon. Then comes Surya Bhagavan with his 1,000 rays. He rises and welcomes him. And this great Punya Purusha, the sacred person, is he going on Rishabha or is he going on a Garuda? Which Vahana is he riding? So which place he is going to? Which is his destination? Is it Vaikuntham or is it Kailasam? So goes his enquiry, Surya Bhagavan's enquiry. Same is the enquiry of Chakra. त्वत्तीरे मरणन्तु मङ्गलकरं देवैरपि श्लाघ्यते शक्रस्तम् मनुजं सहस्रनयनैर्द्रष्टुं सदा तत्परः आयान्तं सविता सहस्रकिरणैः प्रत्युद्गतो भूत्सदा पुण्योऽसौ वृषगोऽथवा गरुडगः किं मन्दिरं यास्यति
मध्याह्ने मणिकर्णिका स्नपनजं पुण्यं न वक्तुं क्षमः स्वीयैरब्धशतैश्चतुर्मुखधरो वेदार्थदीक्षा गुरुः योगाभ्यासबलेन चन्द्रशिखरः तत्पुण्यपारङ्गतः त्वत्तीरे प्रकरोति सुप्तपुरुषं नारायणं वा शिवम्.
Taking bath in Manikarnika river, Manikarnika Ghat in Ganga river, at the time of noon, Madhyane, is supposed to be extremely holy, extremely sacred, extremely auspicious. So he says, the religious merit, the punya which such a person accumulates, nobody is able to describe that. Navattam Kshamaha, nobody is able to describe that punyam. Manikarnika Snapanajam punyam. Madhyane Manikarnika Snapanajam punyam. Navaktam Kshamaha. Sviyairabdashatais Chaturmukhadharo. Vedartha Diksha Guruhu. Even Brahma, with all his four faces, Chaturmukhadharaha, with all his four faces, if he starts praising this punyam, he is not able to exhaust because it is inexhaustible, this punyam. And even if he does it over his long life of 100 years, and his one day is our 1,000 Chatur Yugas, his one day time, not one day and night, only one day time. Night time is another 1,000 Chatur Yugas. So one day time is 1,000 Chatur Yugas. Like that, 365 days make 1 year, and like this, he lives for 100 years. And you cannot even count the number of human years. It will go into several digits. So that kind of life he is having, even with all the life, if he is going to describe this punyam, he cannot exhaust it. And who is this person? He may be a very incapable person. He may take thousands of years. He is not able to say anything. He may be a dumb fellow. No, he is Vedartha Diksha Guruhu. We are talking about Sakshat Chaturmukha Brahma, who is Vedartha Diksha Guruhu. He is possessing the capability of explaining the intricate secrets of Vedas, Vedartha Diksha, initiating his disciples into the intricate secrets of Veda. He does not say Veda Diksha, that all our Veda Pathashala students undergo Veda Diksha. They study for 7 years, 10 years. They study Veda, Samhita part, only Samhita part. They come out of Veda Pathashala. They have got Veda Diksha, no doubt, but not that. Veda Artha Diksha. The intricate secret meanings of Veda. He is capable of initiating his disciples. When you say Diksha, it is not just teaching. It is not Shiksha Guruhu. Vedartha Shiksha Guruhu, he didn't say. He says Vedartha Diksha, it is much higher. That means he becomes another Brahma in terms of Vedartha. He may not become another Brahma in terms of the position he occupies. Brahma is a very special position, divine position. That may not be possible for the student, but Brahma will make the student same as him in terms of Vedartha. And he can teach Vedartha to his own disciple. That is Diksha. A person who is equal to his Guru. That is what he can make. That kind of Guru. That is Brahma. That Guru, that Brahma, he is not able to exhaust speaking about this punya in such a long period of 100 long years of his life. Yogabhyasa balena chandra shikharaha tat punya parangataha. Now we have talked about Brahma. Now we will talk about Shiva. Chandra shikharaha, Chandra shekharaha both mean the same. That is Parameshwara. Tat punya parangataha. One who has understood completely that punyam. Which punyam? that punyam which we talked about. Madhyane manikarnika snapanajam punyam. That punyam, tat punya. Tat punya parangataha. Parangata means an expert. If you are a parangata in mathematics, there is nothing in mathematics which is not known to you. You know the ins and outs of mathematics. You have crossed the ocean of parangata means crossed the ocean of mathematics. You have reached the other shore of mathematics, so there is nothing in mathematics not known to you. Similarly, this punya, if you consider as an ocean, he has crossed that ocean. He has understood all the details of this ocean. Who? Parameshwara. How did he understand that? What was his capacity? Yoga abhyasa balena. Because he is a great yogi. Yogis have got special powers. We all know it, isn't it? Yogis can divine your thoughts. If you go and stand in front of yogi, yogi can do many things. Ashtamaha siddhis, etc. we have seen. Not only that, the level of jnana is extremely great. And we are talking about Shiva, who is jnana incarnate, who is the preacher of jnana. Jnana Vikhet Maheshwarat. So, for him, this yoga abhyasa is inherent in him. It doesn't mean that he is practicing yoga, trying to learn something which he has not learned. That will be belittling Shiva. That is not correct. It only means yoga is an inherent part of him. Just as for a Veda Pathashala student who has come out of Veda Adhyayanam, any passage in Veda, if you ask, he will say immediately. That is a part of him. So similarly, yoga is a part of him. That is how he has been all along. So because of the strength of yoga, he is known as the greatest yogi, Shiva, or the yogi. He is always in union with the Atma. That is why he is called yogi. So because of that, that has given extra strength. With that strength, he is able to understand the secrecy of this great punya. Now what he does? Tattire prakaroti supta purusham narayanam va shivam. On your bank, the person who is sleeping, supta purusham. What does it mean? Sleeping. He goes and sleeps on the river bank? No, not that. All of us are sleeping as far as jnana is concerned. That is what Vedanta says. You fellows, rise from your slumber. Go and approach a guru and obtain jnana so that you don't come back to the cycle again and again. This is what Upanishad keeps telling us again and again. Jagrata, uttishthata jagrata, prapya varan nibodhata. This is what Upanishad says. So, jagrata means what? You are sleeping. That's why he says jagrata. Jagrata means awake. So, wake up. So, that is why he says supta purusham. That means the fellow who was destined to come back to samsara. He does not have any qualification for jnana. That is supta purusha. That person, prakaroti, he makes him. Shiva makes him, because of this punya, Narayanam va Shivam, either Narayana or Shiva. So, the punya which a person accumulates by bathing in Manikarnika hot at noon time, because that is something special. Even Devas long for that time and come and take bath in Manikarnika at that time. So the Shastra says, Kashi Khanda says that. That punyam, even Brahma, with all his 100 years of life, with all his 4 phases, with all his capacity to initiate his students into Vedartha, the intricacies of Veda, with all that capacity, he is not able to say this punyam, expound this punyam. And Chandrasekhara, Parameshwara, because of his inherent yoga strength, why he is saying that? Because this punyam is so great, something which is beyond everybody. He needs to draw upon his yoga strength. Even with all his 100 years, he was not able to exhaust Brahma. Because he is Shiva, jnana incarnate, that capacity is inherent in him, but he has to draw that. So he says, that is why he is making a specific mention. Drawing upon his yoga strength, he is able to decipher this punyam. Tat punya parangataha. After deciphering that punyam, okay, this man is great. He has accumulated this punyam. So we have to give him whatever it is his due. He decides. Then he makes him, though he is a supta purusha, though he is not eligible for moksha. He is eligible only to come back to samsara. But still, since this punya overcomes everything else, he makes him into Narayana or Shiva. Prakaroti. Karoti means does. Prakaroti means something does specially. It's a special act, na? A Supta Purusha is being made into Narayana. It's such a wonderful thing. So that wonder is indicated by using the term Prakaroti. Prakarshena Karoti. He is doing it as a special act. Madhyane Manikarnika Snapanajam Punyam Navaktum Kshamaha Tviyairabdashataichaturmukhadharo Vedarthadiksha Guruhu Yogaabhyasa Chandrashikharaha Tatpunyaparangataha Tvattire Prakaroti Supta Purusham Narayanam Vashivam.
कृच्छ्रैः कोटिशतैः स्वपापनिधनम् यच्चाश्वमेधैः फलम् तत्सर्वम् मणिकर्णिका स्नपनजे पुण्ये प्रविष्टम् भवेत् स्नात्वा स्तोत्रमिदम् नरः पठति चेत् संसारपाथो निधिम् तीर्त्वा पल्वलवत् प्रयाति सदनम् तेजोमयम् ब्रह्मणः.
Now, the punyam which was explained in the previous sloka is continuing in the same thread. Krichraiः कोटिशतैः स्वपापनिधनम् यच्छाश्वमेधैः फलम् तत्सर्वम् मणिकर्णिका स्नपनजे पुण्ये प्रविष्टम् भवेत्. The punya which is accumulated on account of bath in Manikarnika is on one side, let us say. We are comparing it with something else, let us say. What are the things we are comparing with? We are comparing with two things put together, not as two but as one. But it has two components. Krichraiः kotishataiः swapapanidhanam. The first component is something called krichra. Krichra is a prayashchitta. Shastra describes, lays down prayashchittas for great sins committed by us. If you have committed a great sin, you must do a prayashchitta. And that prayashchitta is extremely difficult to do, particularly in Kali Yuga. We don't have that mental strength, nor the physical strength. Prithra and Chandrayana, these are the two major groups of prayashchitta. Under Krishna, there are subgroups. Under Chandrayana, there are subgroups. The broad definition of Prithra and Chandrayana is with reference to niyama, regulation, with reference to food and other things. The food restriction, for example, is you start in Krishna Paksha, Prathama Tithi, with say 15 balls of food, 15 balls of rice. That's the only food in the whole day, okay? 15 balls. The Shastra says that. You have no choice. If you are doing prayashchitta, you have to abide by the rules of the game. So you start with 15 kabalas, 15 balls of food on the first day and reduce by one kabala every day, 15, 14, 13. So on Amavasya day, you will take zero. You will take zero on Amavasya day, no food. Then again start on Prathama of Shukla Paksha by increasing one kabala, 1, 2, 3, 4. On Paurnami day, you will again take 15. This is one method of doing this practice. There are other aspects of this. It's not just food only. There are other things. A lot of other restrictions, other regulations are there. All that together constitute one krishra. Like that, you are supposed to do many krishras. What I described is just one krishra. One krishra does not constitute one prayashchitta. Like this, many krishras constitute one prayashchitta. Like this, many chandrayanas constitute one prayashchitta. Now, Kotishatehi, hundreds of crores of such krishras and chandrayana. Chandrayana is not mentioning, but is implied. If somebody says krishra, he also means chandrayana. So, hundreds of crores of krishras and chandrayanas enable you to destroy your sins. Swapapa nidhanam. Death of your sin. Nidhanam means death. Death of your sins. Death of your papas. Yes, it has happened. Now let us consider this as one aspect. The second aspect is Yachashvamedhai Palam. The fruit, the first one was negative, that is destruction of sins. Now, the accumulation of merit, the second one, accumulation of phalam. Ashwamedha phalam. The fruit accumulated by performing Ashwamedha yagas. As you know, Ashwamedha yaga is the greatest fruit giver. The greatest fruit is obtained by performing. There are many yajnas specified in Shastra, Vedas, starting with Soma yaga, Vajapeya yaga. Many yagas are mentioned. Even nowadays, many yagas are being performed. Mainly in Andhra Pradesh, you find many people performing great yajnas even today, yagas even today. Now, Ashwamedha is the greatest of those. And only kings can perform this, because the problem with Ashwamedha is you have a horse and that horse is let free, and that is the horse which has been earmarked for this yajnashva. So that yajnashva goes here and there, wanders here and there. It's supposed to wander all over the earth and come back. During that process, if another king who does not accept you as his king, if he does not accept you as his Chakravarti, he has got the right to seize that horse. Once he has seized, your yajna is not complete. You must go and fight that king, retrieve your horse, then continue. The horse should continue with his journey. This broadly an outline of Ashwamedha yajna. So only kings can perform this. Now such great fruit which accumulates on performance of Ashwamedha yajna, once Indra had to disappear in the stem of a lotus flower because he had committed Brahmahatya dosha, and another Indra, temporarily Nahusha, was appointed. Now, with the help of Devi, with the blessings of Devi, Indrani found the location of this Indra who was hiding. Then Devi told her ultimately, Vishnu told this Indrani ultimately, unless you please Devi by performing Ashwamedha yajna, Indra cannot come out, because his sin is so great. To ward off that sin, you have to perform Ashwamedha. So Indrani got the Ashwamedha yaga performed with the help of other devas, and then Indra could come out. So that is the greatness of Ashwamedha. Now we are going into all that to understand the concept of this Manikarnika. So if someone performs many Ashwamedha, plural, many Ashwamedha yajnas, that fruit, together with the fruit on account of destruction of your sins, by performing hundreds of crores of Krichras and Chandrayanas, all this together, Tat Sarvam. In this punya, which is accumulated by bathing in Manikarnika Ghat, compared to that punya, this punya is nothing, it's small. Pravishtam bhavet, it enters into that punyam. It enters means it is so small. It is an atom in comparison with that elephant. So atom will enter into an elephant and become insignificant, unknown, unperceived. So that is what he says. Punye pravishtam bhavet. Then, having exhausted all the merits of bathing in Manikarnika, now he is coming to the stotra part, Phalashruti for the stotra. Natva stotramidam nara patati chet samsara patho nidhim etva palvalavat prayati sadanam tejomayam brahmanaha. After having taken bath in Manikarnika, one who reads this stotra, Manikarnika Ashtakam stotra, he will cross Tirtva, he will cross the ocean of samsara, samsara pathonism. How will he cross? Many jnanis may cross, many persons may cross, many yogis may cross. Maybe they have difficulty in crossing, but this person has no difficulty. He crosses this ocean like a palvala, palvalavat prayati. What is palvala? A small accumulation of water, roadside accumulation of water. No, you find sometimes rainwater accumulates on roadside, or when some canal overflows into a small ditch. It is a small ditch containing water, small pond of accumulated water. That is palvala. Cesspool. If you want to give it a bad name, it is a cesspool. A pool of water. Now, like crossing an ordinary pool of water, this fellow crosses samsara ocean. And after crossing, is he going to come back? No, nobody comes back after crossing this ocean. So what does he do? Prayati sadanam tejomayam brahmanaha. he goes to that mansion which has got the brilliance and which belongs to Parabrahmam, Tejo Mayam Brahmana, which means either Vaikuntha or Kailasa, which we have described it before. Instead of saying it again and again, he puts, as a Kavi, he puts it in a beautiful phrase, Tejo Mayam Brahmana Sadanam. That mansion, which is so brilliant, which belongs to Parabrahmam, he entered that. So, the punya which somebody accumulates by bathing in Manikarnika is so great that the punya which is obtained by destroying all the sins, by performing hundreds of crores of krishnas and chandrayana, plus the punya accumulated by performing many Ashwamedha yajnas, together become like an atom in front of an elephant. It becomes insignificant. So, after having bathed in Manikarnika, one who reads this stotra with great devotion, he will cross the ocean of samsara as if he is crossing a small pool of water, and he will enter the mansion of Parabrahmam, which is so brilliant. Krikshay koti sataihi swapapa nidhanam yachashvamedhai phalam tat sarvam manigarnika snapanaje punye pravishtam bhavete natva stotramidam nara pathati chet samsara patho nidhim Etva palvalavat prayati sadanam tejomayam brahmanaha. That brings us to the end of Manikarnikashtakam. Great composition, explaining, expounding the greatness of Kashi, Manikarnika, Ganga. In all its glory, he is expounding it. And the Falashruti makes it even greater. Now we go to Manisha Panchakam. Now, all of you may be aware of the the background of Manisha Panchakam. 1 minute. When Adi Shankara was in Kashi, when one day when he was returning after a bath in Ganga, he was going to his ashram, or perhaps he was going to the temple of Vishwanatha. On the way, on the path, he met a Chandala who was standing right on his way with 4 dogs. And he told the Chandala to give way so that he can cross comfortably, to maintain his achara. Having bathed in Ganga, he didn't want any contact with the Chandala. So the Chandala took objection to this, and he raised great Vedantic theories in 2 slokas. Those 2 slokas, though they don't form part of Manisha Panchakam as such, because Manisha Panchakam are 5 stanzas which Adi Shankara gave in reply to the Chandala. But what Chandala said also forms great theory of Vedanta, so we start with that. Yeah, first one.
अन्नमयादन्नमयम् अथवा चैतन्यमेव चैतन्यात् द्विजवरदूरीकर्तुम् वाञ्छसि किं ब्रूहि गच्छ गच्छेति.
Now, our body is a sthula sharira, which is called Annamaya Kosham. The outermost kosha is Annamaya Kosham. And the innermost is the Chaitanyam, the Atma. It is the Atma which is sentient. All other 5 koshas, there are 5 koshas, Annamaya up to Anandamaya kosha. We will not get into Panchakosha theory and all that. So all these koshas together, he is now referring as Annamayam. This Shariram is Annamayam, which consists of 5 koshas, which is completely non-sentient. It has no Chaitanya. It is Sthula. It is lifeless. Whereas Chaitanya is the life. So there are 2 in a body. Now he says, are you asking this Annamaya Sharira of mine to go away from your Annamaya Sharira, or are you asking this Chaitanyam which is there in my body? Because Chandala also has got Chaitanya. Everyone has got Chaitanya. That is why he is moving about. He is talking now. So, are you asking this Chaitanyam of mine to go away from the Chaitanyam of yours? Annamayat Annamayam Athava Chaitanyameva Chaitanyat Dvijavara, O great Brahmana, greatest of Brahmana. Durīkartum vanchasi. Annamayat Annamayam Durīkartum vanchasi. Athava Chaitanyameva Chaitanyat Durīkartum vanchasi. You want to separate this. You want one Annamaya Sharira to be separated from another Maya Sharira. Vanchasi means you desire. You desire to separate. Durīkartum. You create a distance between the two. Kim bruhi gacha gacheti. You are asking, go away, go away. That's what he said. Adiyankara said, gacha gacha, go away, go away. That means give way to me. So which one you are asking to go? Are you asking Annamaya Sharira to go or asking Chaitanya to go? That was the question. So the two cannot be separated. If you are asking him to go, you are asking both to go. And why should you ask Annamaya Sharira to be separated from Annamaya Sharira? Why should you ask Chaitanya to be separated from Chaitanya? Okay, Annamaya Sharira to be separated from Annamaya Sharira, you can quote Shastra to maintain your purity. But Chaitanya to Chaitanya, you cannot quote any Shastra. But Chaitanya by itself is not a separate entity. It is all over the place. We are misunderstanding it as a separate entity inside a body. So all this is implied in his question. So when you are asking Chaitanya to go away from Chaitanya, that is foolish. It's not possible. It's an impossibility, number one. And if you are asking Annamaya Shariram to go away from Annamaya Shariram, it is not possible to separate Annamaya Shariram to Chaitanyam. So what do you want? This is the question. Very beautifully put to Vedanta. Kim Gangam Muni. Next one.
किं गङ्गाम्बुनिबिम्बितेऽम्बरमणौ चाण्डालवाटीपयः पूरे वान्तरमस्ति काञ्चन घटी मृत्कुम्भयोर्वाम्बरे प्रत्यग्वस्तुनि निस्तरङ्गसहजानन्दावबोधाम्बुधौ विप्रोऽयं श्वपचोऽयमित्यपि महान् कोऽयं विभेदभ्रमः.
Now he is explaining his theory further in this second verse. Gangambuni, in the waters of Ganga, Ambaramanau Bimbite. Ambaramani is Surya, the jewel in the sky. The jewel in the sky, that is Surya. Bimbite, when it gets reflected in Ganga water, or when it gets reflected in the waters of the small pool in front of the hut of Chandala. Chandala Vati. Vati is his hut. In front of the hut, there is some accumulation of water, like we saw Palvala last time. That's similar to that, a small pool of water. When this gets reflected in that, Ure, both are complete images of sun. Both are complete images of Surya. Ure Vantaramasti. Is there any difference? Ureva Antaramasti. Is there any difference between this Surya image and that Surya image? Kanchana Ghati, another example he gives. Kanchana Ghati, Mritkumbhayor, Ambare. Ambara is the space here. The first one was the sky, Ambara Mani. There is a difference between space and the sky, because sky is on the top. Space is everywhere. There is no place without space. Now he is talking about the space inside a golden pot and inside an earthen pot. Kanchana Ghati, Mritkumbha. So, is there a difference between the space inside a golden pot and the space inside the earthen pot? Is there a difference in the Chaitanya of residing in a Chandala and the Chaitanya residing in a Dvijavara? There cannot be any difference, because Chaitanya is common, space is common. Well, space is one of the creations, one of the Panchabhutas, when that itself is common. What about Chaitanya? That is Paramatma's own Shakti. So how can that not be common? It is everywhere also. Space is everywhere. Similarly, Chaitanya is everywhere. So this Chaitanya happens to be inside the body of one. Similarly, it happens to be inside the body of another. How can there be a difference? That is this question. Similarly, the image of sun which is there in the Ganga water, the image of sun in the pool of water in front of the hut of Chandala, how can there be difference? So he is going now into the theory part. प्रत्यग्वस्तु नित्तरंग सहजानंदावबोधाम्बुधौ विप्रोयं स्वपचो जमित्यपि महान् कोऽयं विभेद भ्रमः. Viveda Brahmaha, Mahan Viveda Brahmaha, the great distinction which you are making, Brahmaha, that is a delusion. The distinction which you are making, when you ask me to go away, you are making a distinction. That is why you are asking me to go away. The distinction was with reference to the Annamaya Sharira. You did not recognize the Chaitanya. So the distinction between Chaitanya and Annamaya Sharira, you refuse to perceive that that is the distinction. Between you created between the two bodies, Mahan, Vibheda, Brahmaha, that is the delusion. Now he is explaining that. Pratyag Vastuni, this Atma is called Pratyag Atma, to distinguish it from Paramatma. The Atma which we are associating with every Sharira, with every living being, is called Pratyag Atma. Now, that Pratyag Atma is same as Paramatma, but it is because it is contained within the body, we are calling it as Pratyag Atma. So he is saying, Nistaranga Sahaja Ananda Avabodha Ambudhau. We have been saying Sachidananda, Sachidananda, whenever we describe Paramatma. Same thing he is saying. Avabodha is Jnana, ocean of Jnana. This Pratyagatma is an ocean of Jnana, and that ocean of Jnana contains also Sahaja Ananda, inborn bliss. Sahaja means inborn, natural there, naturally present bliss. Jnana and bliss go together. You cannot separate the two. That Jnana Vastu, that Ananda Vastu, which is inborn, is there without any waves, Nistaranga, no waves. Why he is saying no waves? Because it is silent, it is Shanta. Because any wave means action. This is actionless. Because waves are associated with mind. Whenever mind does any thinking process and starts acting on it, that creates a wave. Not only in your mind, it creates a wave in the universe. Every thought of every human being creates a corresponding wave in the entire universe, in the entire space. So, when it is completely without wave, without agitation, without thought, without any movement, that is Nistaranga. That is the characteristic of that Pratyagatma, Pratyag Vastu. He is calling it as Pratyag Vastu. That Pratyagatma, he is calling it Pratyag Vastu. So, in that Pratyag Vastu, Viproyam Swapachoyamittyapi Mahan Koyam Vibheda Brahmaha. As long as you are considering that Pratyag Vastu alone, not the Annamaya Sharira, then this man is Vipra, Brahmana, this great Brahmana, this man is a Swapacha, a dog eater. Swapacha means dog eater. Chandala, a dog eater. That distinction does not apply to Pratyag Vastu because it is the same. So this Koyam, where is this difference? I am Vibheda Brahmaha, Mahan Vibheda Brahmaha, Kaha. This great delusion of great distinction which you are making, where is it? It is not there. This was the question, this was the jnana which Bhagavan Vishwanatha, who came in the form of a Chandala, was teaching Adi Shankara. Immediately Adi Shankara understood that the person who is talking all this is not an ordinary Chandala. Bhagavan Vishwanatha is coming and teaching me Atmajnana. So he was extremely happy. He fell at his feet. Immediately, on the spot, he fell at his feet, on the Chandala's feet, whom he asked to go away. Gacha Gacha, he had said earlier. Now he fell at his feet and then he broke into this Manisha Panchakam. Kim Gangambuni Bimbitembara Ramanau Bimbitembara Manau Chancha Chandala Vati Pure Vantaramasti Kanchana Ghati Vritkumbhayor Vambare Pratyagvastu Nittaranga Sahajananda Avabodham Budhau Viproyam Sapacho Jamityapi Mahan Koyam Vibheda Brahmaha. Next.
जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्तिषु स्फुटतरा या संविदुजृम्भते या ब्रह्मादिपिपीलिकान्ततनुषु प्रोता जगत्साक्षिणी सैवाहं न च दृश्यवस्त्विति दृढप्रज्ञापि यस्यास्ति चेत् चाण्डालोऽस्तु स तु द्विजोऽस्तु गुरुरित्येषा मनीषा मम।
Esha Manisha Mama. This is my opinion. This is my firm conviction, not opinion. This is my firm conviction. Chandalostu Satu Dijostu Guruhu. Whether he is a Chandala or whether he is a Brahmana, he is my Guru. This is my firm opinion. Who is that? Which person he is describing? That is the first three lines. Now he is going into the highest Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta theory, very simply described in 5 verses. The first verse, which we are now seeing, is a reflection of one of the 4 Mahavakyas from the Upanishads. Prajnanam Brahma. Aitareya Upanishad of Rigveda contains this Mahavakya. That is, this verse is an explanation of that. 4 Mahavakyas, he is giving 4 stanzas. Jagrat Swapna Sushiptisha Spotatara Yasam Vidujrambhate. He said Prajnanam Brahma, isn't it? The Prajnanam is being described. Samviti is Prajnanam. Special Jnanam, highest Jnanam is Samviti. Ujrambhate, it comes out. It comes out very clearly, very brightly. Spotatara, very brightly, very clearly, that Jnana comes out. Where? Jagrat Swapna Sushaptishu. In all the 3 states, whether you are awake, whether you are dreaming, or whether you are sleeping. In all these 3 states, that jnana is the highest jnana is coming out very clearly. Coming out means what? It is present. You can't see it, but it is present. Ujrambhate means it is active. It is coming out means it is active. Without it being active, you cannot sleep. Without it being active, you cannot dream. Without it being active, you cannot perform your actions when you are awake. Even sleeping is an action, isn't it? While you are sleeping, your heart functions, your lungs are functioning, many body organs are functioning properly. Your breath is functioning, prana is functioning, everything is functioning. So all this is happening because that Samviti is very active. That Chaitanya, that Jnana Swarupa is active. Ya Brahmadi Pipili Kanta Tanushu Prota Jagat Sakshini. That Samviti, that jnana is not an ordinary jnana. It is Jagat Sakshini. It is all pervasive, all pervading. It is present everywhere, and it is the witness of the entire Jagat, entire universe. Witness of entire universe means what? Witness of everyone, witness of everything, every action. You cannot do anything without being witnessed by this jnana sakshi. You cannot even think of anything. Your thoughts are also known to you because it is present inside your brain, this jnana. The brain is activated by that jnana. So, this is present everywhere, very actively. So, it is Jagat Sakshini, Ya Brahma, Pipiri, Kanta, Tanushu, Prota. Okay, it is a witness of the entire world. Maybe it is outside the body, watching us from like a CCTV camera. No, it is inside the body. Tanushu Prota, all bodies. Brahma, Pipiri, Kanta, Tanushu, all bodies starting from Brahma up to the ant. Pipilika is ant. The greatest body, that is Brahma, the most respected body, the most ordinary body is and smallest and the greatest. So all bodies are covered now. The range is given. So in all those bodies, Tanu is a body. In all those bodies, Prota means it is intertwined. You cannot separate and say, like you can separate a brain, they do that, isn't it? Organ transplant and all. They separate a brain, they separate a lungs, they separate a heart, they separate a kidney, all that. Like this, can you separate this Sambhit jnana? Oh, this is the jnana. I have separated. Can any doctor do that? Because it is prata, it is intertwined. Every tissue of your body is active, is working because of that jnana. It's a shakti. It cannot be separated out. Prata means intertwined. Ota prata is applied to a cloth. A cloth has got 2 sets of threads. One set of threads going in one direction, another set of threads going in the perpendicular direction. So it is called Ota Prota. Prota is the longer thread, Ota is the cross thread. So when he says Prota, it means intertwined, everywhere present. Saivaham, that jnana which was mentioned in the first two lines in great detail, I am that. I am that jnana. I am not this body. I am not this annamaya sharira. Saivaham nacha drishya vastu. I am that jnana. I am not this drishya vastu. Seen object. Drishya vastu. Seen object. What is the seen object? We see the body only. We cannot see jnana vastu. What we see is the body, isn't it? The eyes, the ears, the nose. This is what we can see. We cannot see anything more than that. Even the doctor cannot see anything more than that. So, Drishyavastu, what is seen is the body. I am not this body. I am that jnana which has been described, which is prota, which is intertwined in all bodies, which is the witness of the entire universe, and which is very active in all the three states. Dridha prajnapi yasya chayat. This knowledge, that is, I am that Brahman, I am not this body. Firm conviction, Dridha prajna. Firm knowledge, firm conviction, not a fleeting conviction. That's why you use the term Dridha prajna. Fleeting conviction, all of us will have. When you go through this Manisha Panchakam, yes, there is a conviction. After closing the book, the conviction is gone. That is not Dridha prajna. Dridha prajna always should be present, all the 24 hours with you. So, one who has attained the Dridha prajna, he is my Guru, whether he is a Chandala or Dvija. So, everyone cannot claim this great quality of Chaitanya, the same Chaitanya, all that which was claimed by the Chandala. Everyone cannot claim that. Varnashrama dharmas have to be followed. Dharma Shastras have to be followed strictly because everyone does not qualify the first three lines which Adi Shankara is enunciating. Everyone is not qualifying. Those who do not qualify have to follow the Dharma Shastra. Those who qualify, they are jnanis, they don't have to follow Dharma Shastra, but they will not violate Dharma Shastra. This Chandala made this as a special case to teach Atma Jnana to Adi Shankara. So this is an exception. So no jnani will behave in violation of Dharma Shastra. So this should not be taken as a license like normal modern thinkers would interpret this as. No, Varnashram Dharma has been negated by Manisha Panchakam. Nothing is negated. So that jnana, which is shining brightly in all the three states, waking, deep sleep, and dream, all the three states, that jnana, which is the witness of the entire universe, that jnana, which is intertwined in all the bodies, whether it is the greatest body of Brahma, the smallest, the tiniest body of, and that jnana, I am that jnana, I am not the seen body. If this jnana is firmly present in someone, that someone is my Guru, whether he is a Chandala or whether he is a Dvija. This is mentioned in all Upanishads, but in Kena Upanishad, the very first mantra explains this beautifully. I quoted this in the morning session. Though we are running short of time, I cannot stop myself from quoting this. Kena Upanishad first mantra says, Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha kena prana prasama praiti yuktaha keneshitam vachamimam vadanti chakshushrotram kavudevo yunakti. The Shishya asked the Guru, because all Upanishads are in the form of conversation, between dialogue between a Shishya and a Guru. Shishya puts this question. This mind, how is it acting? Who is the motivator for the mind? This prana, this life breath, who is motivating this? These words which I am speaking, who is giving me the power? These ears, these eyes, who is giving the powers? This is the question. Kavu Devo Yunakti, which Deva is giving me this power? That is the question. The answer is given a beautiful mantra by the Guru. That is the summary of all Vedanta which we now saw now. Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Manoyate Vacho Havacham Sava Pranasya Pranaha Chakshushachakshuhu Atimuchya Dhiraha Pretyasma Lokad Amrita Bhavanti. Those Dhiras, those courageous people who have understood this ear of the ear, the mind of the mind, the word of the word, the prana of the prana, the eye of the eye. What does it mean? Eye of the eye, ear of the ear. The force behind the ear, the force behind the eye, the Chaitanya behind the ear, the Chaitanya behind. That means the same Chaitanya is actively working on all the organs simultaneously. All the organs are active because of one Chaitanya. That is what he is saying. One who has understood this, he is a very courageous man because he is negating what is seen and he is believing in what is not seen. That requires courage to negate what you experience and to believe in something which you do not directly experience, which you believe as the cause behind the screen. That requires courage. That requires courage of understanding, courage of faith in the Guru, courage of faith in Vedanta. So he is a Dhira. So when he departs from this world, Pretya small lokat, he departs from this world, he becomes immortal. Amrita bhavanti. Jagrat swapna sushuptishu sputatara yasam vidujrumbhate ya brahmadi pipiri kanta tanushu prota jagat sakshini दैवाहं न च दृश्यवस्तुति दृढप्रज्ञापि यस्यास्ति चेत् चाण्डालोऽस्तु स तु द्विजोऽस्तु गुरुरित्येषा मनीषा मम.
ब्रह्मैवाहमिदं जगच्च सकलं चिन्मात्रविस्तारितं सर्वं चैतदविद्यया त्रिगुणया शेषं मया कल्पितम् इत्थं यस्य दृढा मतिः सुखतरे नित्ये परे निर्मले चाण्डालोऽस्तु स तु द्विजोऽस्तु गुरुरित्येषा मनीषा मम.
The last line is the repeat of the last line of the previous sloka. So that person is my Guru, whether he is a Chandala or Dvija. Which person is described? Brahmaivahamidam jagatcha sakalam chinmatra vistaritam. Same idea is explained further in different phrases, in different examples. Aham Brahma, Brahmaivahamidam, Aham Brahma eva. I am only Brahma. I am not this body. This jagatcha sakalam chinmatra vistaritam. All this universe which I am seeing, experiencing, all this universe is only jnana, chinmatra. But it is assuming different forms because that jnana has got that power. That jnana has got the power of Maya, which is appearing in different forms. Appearing as a human body, appearing as a Brahma's body, appearing as an ant's body, appearing in different forms, appearing as a Deva's body in Devaloka. But same Chaitanya, same jnana. Chinmatra vistaritam. It has expanded into this whole universe. All this universe is an expansion of one Chaitanya, and that Chaitanya I am. Sarvam chaitad avidyaya trigunaya ashesham maya kalpitam. All this universe is only an imagination. Kalpitam is an aropa. In terms of Vedanta, it is an adhyaropa. It is a superimposition on that jnana. This whole universe is a superimposition on that jnana. Kalpitam, it is an imaginary thing. How was it done? Avidyaya trigunaya, by using the power of Maya, which consists of three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, constituting avidya, ignorance. Why it is called ignorance? Because it has the power to hide the truth. We are all suffering from the same avidya, isn't it? We consider the body as Satya Vastu and we consider Chaitanya as something imaginary. That is our understanding, isn't it? So that is avidya. It is exactly opposite of vidya. Chaitanya is the Satya Vastu and body is Mithya Vastu. That is what Shastra says. But we don't believe in that. So that is Maya. To make us not believe is Maya. Avidyaya, Trigunaya, Sarvam Chaitat, all this. He doesn't have to describe what is all this. All this universe, whatever you experience, is this imagination, Maya Kalpitam, Ashesham, all this universe without exception. Is there any exception? No. Is Brahmaloka an exception? No. Is Kailasa an exception? No. Is Vaikuntha an exception? No. Is Sripuram an exception? No. Nothing is an exception because it is a power which is unseen, which has no form. So So if Sripuram has got a form, if it is made of Chintamani, if Devi is seated on a Pancha Brahma Mancha, that is all imagination. That is all Kalpitam. At this level, now all that we described was at a different level. For a Bhakta, for a Jnani, this is different. Now for him, everything is not there. Neti neti, that is his basic starting point. Nothing is existing other than Jnana. So, Ashesham, everything, with no exception. Maya Kalpitam, all this has been imagined by me. By me when he says I am Brahma, because it is Parabrahma who has imagined this and has created this out of his imagination, out of his Maya. Now I am associating myself with the Brahma, so he advisedly using the term Maya Kalpitam. Brahmana Kalpitam, he could have said, isn't it? He could have said Brahmana Kalpitam. By it was an imagination Parabrahmam. No, I am that Parabrahmam, so it has been created by me. Itham yasya dridha matihi. Like this, if someone has got a firm knowledge, sukhatare nitye pare nirmale, and his intellect, dridha matihi, is firmly rooted in that nitya vastu, that para vastu, that superior vastu, that blissful vastu, and pure nirmala, nirmale, sukhatare, nitye, pare, nirmale. This is Sachidananda Vastu, which is superior, which is pure. In that Vastu, his mind is firmly rooted. So for him, everything is an imagination. Everything is kalpitam. And that kalpitam is done by me, not by someone else. I am the one who created this universe. I know when someone has created, if I have written a book, do I know all the contents of that book or no? If I have written a song, do I know the contents, the raga, etc.? I know. That is, I have created that song. So similarly, if I have created this universe, I know everything. So there is a creation, it's imaginary creation. I have created out of this Maya power. And I know Maya power is an imaginary power, a delusory power. So that person who has got this knowledge, whether he is a Chandala or a Dija, he is my Guru. This is my firm opinion. Brahmaivahamidam jagatcha sakalam chinmatra vistaritam sarvam chaitadavidyaya trigunaya shesham maya kalpitam itham yasya dridha matihi sukhatare nitye pare nirmale Chandarostu satudijostu gururityesha manisha mama. Now this verse is based on the second Mahavakya from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad of Yajurveda. That Mahavakya says, Aham Brahmasmi. Same here used. Aham Brahma eva. It starts with that. So Aham Brahmasmi, Brahmaivaham. That is the statement made in that Mahavakya, just as Prajnanam Brahma was the statement in the first one. Now, go ahead.
शश्वन्नश्वरमेव विश्वमखिलम् निश्चित्य वाचा गुरोः नित्यम् ब्रह्म निरन्तरम् विमृशता निर्व्याजशान्तात्मना भूतम् भावि च दुष्कृतम् प्रदहता संविन्मये पावके प्रारब्धाय समर्पितम् स्ववपुः इत्येषा मनीषा मम
Shashvannashwarameva Vishwamakhilam Nishchitya Vacha Guroho. All this knowledge you cannot get from books. You cannot get from listening to a Upanyasam. This has to be obtained only from a Guru. Vacha Guroho. From the Guru's words only you can get this. This has been repeatedly mentioned in the Vedas and all the Shastras. There is no Shastra which does not say this. Because it is the Guru who knows intricately the deficiencies you have, and he will strive to remove those deficiencies. Because with those deficiencies, the jnana will not seep into you. It will look like seeping into you, it will not actually seep into you. After you come out of Guru's presence, you will come back to your normal position. So, to make you improve, he will adopt such means which will remove the deficiencies peculiar to you, because everyone is an individual. Everyone is different from every other individual. So, he will adopt such means to remove the deficiency and to impart that jnana so that that jnana will stay with you. That is Guru. That effort he takes. So Vacha Guroho, from Guru's word, Nishchitya, he has come to a decision, conclusion. What is the conclusion? Tashvan Nashvarameva Vishwam Akhilam. All this universe is destructible. The first one was all this universe was my imagination. Okay, imagination which may continue forever, isn't it? I have created this universe. I have created a book. That book may last for all time. No, this book does not last for all time. This book of universe is changing every minute. The book written 1 minute ago is not the book which I am now having this minute. Every minute it is changing. The book gets destroyed, the universe gets destroyed every minute. Nashwaram, constantly. Tashvan means constantly destroyed. The only thing constant about this destruction is it is happening all the time. शश्वत् नश्वरमेव विश्वमखिलं निष्कृत्य वाचा गुरोः नित्यं ब्रह्म निरन्तरं विमृशता निर्व्याज शान्तात्मना. For coming to understanding of this Brahman, which is Nityam, Nitya Vastu, unchanging. The other one was Nashwaram. Shashvat is Nashwaram, ever changing, getting destructed. And this one, Brahma Vastu is Nityam, ever present and no change. Nirantaram, no change and ever present. That is Brahman's quality. Vimrishata. For this you need to analyze. You need to separate the chaff from the rice, the husk from the rice. The rice is Brahma, husk is the Vishwam. So for this, the husk is not important to us. It is going to get destroyed. The rice which is what I need. So that Vimrishata, that analysis you have to keep doing all the time. This is the basis of the Jnana Yoga. Neti neti, not this, not this. That attitude should be ever present in you. That is imparted to you by the Guru. Nirvyaja Shantatmana. This leads to a state of complete peace. You are at peace with yourself and you are at peace with the entire world. Nothing can make you agitated. Nothing can shake you from that Shanta state. That is why Nirvyaja Shantatmana. Nirvyaja means with no motive. With no motive present, you are in Shanta state. That means I am Shanta because Guru is present in front of me, because I am in the presence of Acharya Swamiji, because I am doing puja. No, there is no because here. In this case, he is always in Shanta. Nirvyaja Shantatmana Bhutam Bhavicha Dushkritam Pradahata Samvinmaye Pavake. Okay, all this is fine. But Shastra has said that you will suffer from the effects of karmas. Karmas which you have accumulated over the past many years cannot be wished away. They have to be experienced. Avashyameva bhoktavyam kritam karma shubha shubham. This is Shastra Vakya. Avashyameva bhoktavyam. You cannot wish it away. So what happens to all the karmas? In the case of this jnani, he has attained jnana, he knows all this, but he has got the benefit of Guru's teaching also. But what happens with karma? That question is answered now. Bhutam bhavicha dushkritam. Bhutam means all the past karma. Bhavi, all the future karma. What is the future karma? Future karma is karma which you have accumulated in this birth. Right from birth till the time you have obtained jnana. Or even after obtaining jnana, unknowingly you might have committed some karma. After obtaining jnana, you cannot commit any karma. Though you are very active, you are performing a lot of action. All your actions are dedicated to Bhagavan because you have realized the state of Aham Brahmasmi. So nothing illegal, nothing anti-shastra will happen at your hand. But unknowingly, you while walking, you have killed an ant by mere chance. That has added to some little part of your karma. Let us say. Now that is future karma. Even that, all the future karma, all the past karma, all the dushkritam, all the papas, Samvinmaye Pavake Pradahata. In the Agni, Pavaka is Agni. In the Agni of Jnana, of that supreme Jnana, Prajnanam, he said, na? In the supreme Jnana, in that Agni, Pradahata, all this is burnt. When it is burnt, nothing is left. It is all gone. But there is one karma which is left, which is not covered in Bhutam or Bhavi. The past karma and the future karma. That is the present karma. That is the karma which gave rise to this body. That is, in terms of Vedanta, it is called Sanchita Karma and Agami Karma. Bhavi is future, Agami. Sanchita is past, which you have accumulated in the past janmas. Out of that past Sanchita Karma, a small, tiny portion has been set apart for being experienced in this birth. The remaining is there. That remaining has been burnt away now. But what was allotted for this janma, maybe it's a small part of the Sanchita Karma. But that has to be experienced by the body, because Adi Shankara says the body will have to experience it because it started with that karma. You are in that body. The body has not left you. When the body leaves you, you are out of that trap. But till then, you are trapped by that karma. Body is trapped by that karma, not you. Because you have associated yourself with that Brahma. You said, na maya kalpitam. So this body is kalpitam, imaginary. Why are you worried about the suffering or comfort which is experienced by this body? So prarabdhaja samarpitam vapuhu ityesha manisha mama. This body is dedicated to that prarabdha karma with which it started this birth. Because Adi Shankara says it is like an arrow which has been let loose from a bow. After you have dispatched that arrow, you have no control on that arrow. Like this body has been dispatched by Brahma with that karma written on it, so it has to experience that karma. There is no getting away from it. But it will not bother you because you know that this body is not yourself. Whatever pain this body experiences, whatever pleasure this body experiences, it does not concern you. Ramana Maharshi underwent a very painful operation in his arm, very big swelling, cancerous swelling was removed. And it cannot even be imagined without an anesthesia. But he said, no anesthesia. You do it. I don't care. I will not experience that pain. He did not experience that pain. Such a painful operation. So that is what he's saying here. So by Guru's instruction, he has come to a definite conclusion that all this universe has only one constant aspect. That constant aspect it is getting constantly destroyed. That is the constancy about it. And this Brahma, on the other hand, Parabrahman, is Nityavastu, never changing, ever present. And by analysis, I have come to this conclusion, and I am at peace with everything, including my body, all my surroundings, without any motive, unmotivated Shanti. And all the past karma, all the future karma is burnt in my case in that Agni of Jnana which I have now got because of the Guru's instruction. And only the Prarabdha karma which was assigned to this body at the time of birth by Brahma, that body has to experience it. Body has been dedicated to that karma. So Vapuhu Samarpitam. The body is dedicated, not I am. I am not dedicated. This is my firm understanding. तस्वन्नश्वरमेव विश्वमखिलं निष्कृत्य वाचा गुरोः नित्यं ब्रह्म निरन्तरं विमृशता निर्व्याज शान्तात्मना भूतं भावि च दुष्कृतं प्रदहता संविन्मये पावके प्रारब्धाय समर्पितं स वपुः इत्येषा मनीषा मम. This stanza is based on the Samaveda Chandogya Upanishad Mahavakya Tattvamasi, you are that. You are Brahman, you are not this body. So this body will experience Prarabdha Karma, but you are not that. Now this has been explained in Gita very beautifully. Yathaidhamsi samiddhognihi bhasmasat kurute arjuna jnanagni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. Just as an agni in high flames, samiddhognihi, a good lighted fire, a kindled fire, consumes and burns any fuel which is put in that agni, yathaidhamsi, any fuel wood, bhasmasat, it reduces to ashes. Nothing is left of that fuel. Similarly, jnana agni, the fire of knowledge, the supreme knowledge, it reduces to ashes all karma, sarva karmani bhasmasate kurute. About the prarabdha karma, Shankara says very clearly in Tattva Bodha. There are many Prakarana Granthas which he has authored. One of them is Tattvabodha. There he says, Idam Shariram Utpadya Iha Loke Evam Sukha Dukkha Pradam Yat Karma Tat Prarabdham Bhoge Nanashtam Bhavati. That karma which has been started, known as Prarabdha karma, which gives Sukha and Dukkha, for being experienced by this body in this world, all these are conditions. It will not continue in the next world. It will not continue beyond this body. That is Prarabdha karma. That can only be destroyed by experiencing even after getting the jnana, not otherwise. Prarabdha karmana bhoga deva kshayati. Prarabdha karma has to be only exhausted by experiencing. But don't worry, it is not going to bother you. That is what Shankara says. Next.
यातिर्यं नरदेवताभिरहमित्यन्तस्फुटा गृह्यते यद्भासा हृदयाक्षदेहविषया भान्ति स्वतो चेतनाः तां भास्यैः पिहितार्कमण्डलनिभां स्फूर्तिं सदा भावयन् योगी निर्वृतमानसो हि गुरुः इत्येषा मनीषा मम.
That yogi who is nirvrita manasaha, extremely happy mind, blissful mind, he only is my guru. Why he is so happy? Yatiryang naradevata abhiraham ityantasputa grishyate. His inner antahkarana, his inner equipment, that means his mind, etc., has understood, has absorbed very clearly, sputa grishyate, what it has absorbed. Yatiryang naradevata abhihi aham iti. That which is understood as I by human beings, by devatas, even by animals. Tiryaka refers to animals. Even animals, even human beings, even devatas understand, grasp something as aham. Actually, that aham is that jnana, that Brahma Swarupa, not this body. That is understood clearly by the antakarana. That is firmly, Dridhamatihi, he said, no, same thing. Yad bhasa. Now, why he is bringing that point again, he is going to explain. Yad bhasa hridayaksha deha vishaya bhanti svato achetanaha. Now, the confusion comes because the eye is able to see, the ear is able to hear, the tongue is able to speak, the tongue is able to taste the food, the hand is able to lift an object, the feet are able to walk. Now, all these abilities are built into these organs of the body. Now, they cannot be, you can't call them inactive. They are very active. And how can I deny their existence when they are so active? That is the question he is answering. Swataha achetanaha. By themselves, they are insentient. They have no power to act. They cannot move. They cannot do anything. They have no power. Achetanaha swataha, by themselves. But they are active. By how? Bhanti. They are shining. Shining means they are active. How? Yad bhasa hridayaksha deha vishaya. By the power of that Brahman, which was described in the first line, by that Jnana Shakti, which is shining, this hridaya, this heart, this aksha, these indriyas, aksha means indriyas, the five Jnana indriyas. They have this body, all these objects. These are only objects. Vishayaha, they are only objects. The hridaya, these indriyas, these sharira, they are all only vishayas. They are only objects. By themselves, they are inert. Sataha achayatanaha, insentient, inert. But they look like very active fellows. They look very shining, bhanti, because of the shine of the Brahman, which makes it active. So, what is important is the power behind, which was described in the first line, which is present equally in all, whether it is an animal, whether it is a devata, or whether it is a human being. Equally present as Chaitanya in all. This I have understood. Tam bhasyaihe pihitarka mandalanibham spurtim sada bhavayan. Okay, but we are coming back to the same point that this Jnana Shakti I am not able to experience. I am able to experience the power of all these indriyas, the body, the hridaya, etc. Even hridaya, doctor convinces me that the heart is active. But how? Nobody is able to convince me that there is some power, jnana shakti behind this. That only Guru can convince me once I reach that level of jnana. So, this is like what? This is an example. Vihita Arka Mandala Nibham. Arka Mandala is Surya Mandala, not Surya only. The area around Surya also is included in Arka Mandala because it is very bright, isn't it? Extremely brilliant. That Arka Mandala Nibha, that Arka Mandala is Pihita, is hidden by a mass of dark cloud. This you can see even in rainy season. It looks as if it is night sometimes. Day becomes night when Surya is covered by the dark cloud. A heavily dark cloud can cover the Surya Mandala, such that the day will appear like night, except that a little light is there. So, like that, this jnana Shakti is hidden by that Maya power because you are able to see, isn't it? You are able to see the dark cloud, isn't it? But you are not able to see the sun. Similarly, you are able to see all these indriyas, all these hridaya, deha, etc. They are all actively working, but there is a hidden power. It is hidden by this Maya Shakti, like the Surya Mandala was hidden. Tam bhastyaihi, they are all promoted. The brilliance is promoted by Surya. All these objects were able to see, even when it is like that, less of light, but you are able to see. There's some bhasa, some prakasha is there. Similarly, all these indriyas are active, though we are not able to see the presence of the Brahma Shakti. Tam bhasyaihi pihitarka mandalanibham spurtim. This is the prakasha, which is the original prakasha, like the Surya Mandala prakasha. Sada bhavayan, that prakasha only I am meditating always, not this prakasha which is perceived, experienced directly in the eye, in the ear, in the tongue, in the feet, in the hand. This power I don't care. The power behind that Brahma Shakti is what I am meditating upon always. That yogi who is always happy because that Shakti is full of bliss, ananda. So when he has engaged his mind on that, he also exudes that ananda. So he is nirvrita manasaha. He is the guru for me. This is my firm opinion because he has understood that jnana which is present, whether it is an animal, whether it is a nara, or whether it is a devata, and it is giving the feeling of aham. You know, everybody says aham, I, isn't it? To distinguish himself from somebody else. That aham is actually the Chaitanya, that I have understood. By the brilliance of the Chaitanya, all these inert objects, they are by themselves inert. Hridaya, Aksha, and Deha. They are all active. They look very brilliant. It is like objects look brilliant when the sun, Surya Mandala, is hidden by the dark cloud. Even then, there are objects which look brilliant. Similarly, the original Surya Mandala equivalent is this Jnana Shakti. On that yogi meditates and he is ever happy because of that. Yatiryang nara devata adhirahamityanta sphuta drishyate yadbhasa hridayaksha deha vishaya bhanti svato chayatanaha ताम्भास्यै पिहितार्कमण्डलनिभां स्फूर्तिं सदा भावयन् योगी निर्वृतमानसो हि गुरुरित्येषा मनीषा मम. This is based on the fourth Mahavakya from Mandukya Upanishad, Atharva Veda. I am Atma Brahma. This Atma, which is seen in this body, is not different from the Parabrahman. That is the which is being mentioned here. Next.
यत्सौख्याम्बुधिलेशलेशत इमे शक्रादयो निर्वृताः यच्चित्ते नितरां प्रशान्तकलने लब्ध्वा मुनिर्निर्वृतः यस्मिन्नित्यसुखाम्बुधौ गलितधीः ब्रह्मैव न ब्रह्मवित् यः कश्चित् स सुरेन्द्रवन्दितपदो नूनं मनीषा मम.
Is closing the stotra with a kind of a teaching to make this yogi attractive to us, this Jnanavan attractive to us. he says, there has to be some attraction associated with something if you want to go after it, isn't it? What is the attraction? Attraction is the bliss, ananda. Now, you are running after objects in the universe because you presume that they give you ananda, isn't it? You go to a cinema for watching that cinema because you think that cinema will give you ananda, isn't it? You go after a sweet because that sweet will give you ananda. Like this, every experience. Whereas this ananda is nothing in comparison with that brahmananda. Yat sauksham bhudi lesha lesha tayame shakradayo nirvritaha. Even Indra and other devas, whatever sauksha, whatever ananda they are experiencing is lesha leshataha, a very insignificant part, a part of a part, lesha leshataha of that ocean, ambudhi. Which ocean? Yat Saukhyambudhi, that blissful ocean of that Brahman. Even the one which is experienced by Devendra, forget about us ordinary human beings. Devendra is the experiencer of the greatest of pleasures, isn't it? No pleasure is beyond him. Now, even those pleasures are nothing in comparison with this Brahmananda. Same thing is told to us in even Lalita Sahasranama, a stotra in praise of Devi. स्वात्मानंद लवीभूत ब्रह्माद्यानंद संतति स्वात्मानंद लवीभूत, a part, an insignificant part, lava of that Atmananda which is there in Devi, that is experienced by even Brahma. Brahmadyananda Santati, Brahmadi, starting from Brahma right up to Pipilika. Everybody, even Pipilika, even ant experiences some Ananda. That is why it is keeping its life. No one keeps his life if he is not experiencing some happiness. Everyone is, otherwise everybody will seek death. Everybody is afraid of death because he thinks he will experience some pleasure tomorrow. Everyone wants to extend his life. Everybody is afraid of death because of the fleeting pleasures of this earth. So, even Brahma, right from Brahma to Pipilika, Brahma, Dhyananda, Santatihi, this row of Anandas, the succession of Anandas, coming from Brahma right down to the last living being, is nothing in comparison with Patmananda, experienced only with Devi. So the same thing is mentioned here. Yet chitte nitaram prashanta kalane labdva munir nirvritaha. Now, in comparison with that Indra, this Muni, this is also mentioned in Upanishad in that Anandavalli, in Taittiriya Upanishad, he is measuring the Ananda of the king on earth. Then he says some Deva who is temporarily staying as a Deva in Sargaloka experiences 100 times. Then Devendra, then the other Devas experience 100 times more. Then Chakra experience 100 times more. Brihaspati experience 100 times more. Then Brahma experience 100 times more. So many hundreds, 100 square, 100 cube we have seen. The last 100 part, power, which is experienced by Brahma, is nothing in comparison with what the Jnani experiences. This is what the Upanishad says. That is what he is saying here. Yet chitte nitaram prashanta kalane labdhva munir nirvritaha. Having obtained this Ananda, Muni is extremely happy naturally. Because even Brahma's happiness is nothing. Yet chitte nitaram, in his mind always, constantly. Nitaram, very high level of prashanta kalane. It is giving him extreme shanti, extreme peace. That bliss is giving extreme shanti. It is not a bliss which is titillating the senses. Our pleasures are titillating the senses. We eat a sweet, the tongue is titillated. We want more sweet. After that, if we fall sick, we detest that sweet. That is the problem with sensual pleasures. Whereas this Ananda makes you everything completely quiet. Yasmin nitya sukham budhau galitadhihi brahmaiva na brahmavit. Yasmin nitya sukham budhau. Yat sauksham budhihi is the same. Nitya sukha, continuous, ever present bliss, that is the ocean. In that ocean, this Muni has absorbed his intellect. Dalita, he has directed his intellect to be absorbed, to be immersed in that ocean of bliss, which is ever present, constant bliss. For him, he is not Brahmavit. He is not a knower of Brahman. He is Brahman himself. Brahma eva na Brahmavit. This is said in Upanishad itself. Straight Vakya in the Upanishad. Brahmavit Brahma eva bhavati. The knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. He is not different from Brahman. That is that Advaita Vedanta. When you become Brahman, even when possessing the body, we are not talking about people who have left the body and merged with Bhagavan. We are not talking about them. We are talking about someone who is living as a Muni on this earth, as a Jnani. But he is possessing the body, but he is a Jnani. So, he is Brahmavit. No, he is Brahman. He is not Brahmavit. He is not knower of Brahman. He is Brahman himself. Arey, he is possessing a body. He is talking like us. He is eating like us. How can you call him Brahman? Does Brahman eat? Does Brahman sleep? Brahman does not eat. Brahman does not sleep because Brahman has no body. Brahman is bodiless, free from quality, Nirakara, Nirguna, etc. But that Brahman is present in him and he has understood that he is Brahman and he is not this body. It is the body which is acting, which is sleeping, which is eating. And that body has to be kept alive as long as that prarabdha karma is exhausted. So he knows that. So he is keeping the body alive for exhausting his prarabdha karma, not because he is associating himself with that. That is Muni. So he is very happy. So he is Brahman. He is not Brahmavit. Yak Kashyat, whoever. It may be anyone. It may be even an animal. We saw Jadabharata, he became a deer. Though such a great jnani because in his last moments he got associated with a deer. So goes the story of Jadabharata in Srimad Bhagavatam. So even deers can experience jnana, experience happiness. Even animals. So that is why he said, Yak Kashyat, it may be anyone. Surendra Vandita Padaha Nunam Manisha Mama. His feet are worshipped by Devendra himself because he is such a great jnani. So Devendra comes and falls at his feet. This is my firm opinion. Even Devendra and other devas or whatever bliss they are experiencing is a very, very tiny, insignificant part of the ocean of bliss of Brahman. And that ocean of bliss, this Muni has directed his mind to experience, to be immersed in that ocean of bliss. So he is extremely happy. And naturally, he has become Brahman himself, and he is ever at a state of peace, Prashanta, ever in a state of peace, and he is Brahman only. He is not a knower of Brahman, he is not different from Brahman. There is no Dvaita state, he is Advaita, he is Brahman himself. Though he may possess the body, and the body may perform its function to experience the prarabdha karma. He is not concerned with that. He is concerned with that happiness of Brahman, that Brahmananda. That may be anyone. It may be even an animal. Though, Yakshashiti, he means any human being. That person, even Surendra comes and falls at his feet, worships him. This is my firm opinion. Yat saukhyam bhudi lesha lesha dayame shakradayo nirvritaha yat chitte ditaram prashanta kalane labdha munir nirvritaha यस्मिन्नित्यसुखाम्बुधौ गलितधीः ब्रह्मैव न ब्रह्मवित् यः कश्चित् सुरेन्द्रवन्दितपदो नूनं मनीषा मम. This brings us to the close of Manisha Panchakam, 5 great verses expounding Advaita Vedanta in all its glory. And the stage was set by the Chandala when he introduced the subject of Vedanta in a very beautiful manner, in the form of a question and in the form of an answer. The highest level of Vedanta has been explained in all its glory by the very compassionate Adi Shankara. Why should you do that? Because of compassion with us. All his compositions are imbued with compassion. We have seen that before, and we are now seeing it at its highest glory level. So we are fortunate to be able to go through this Manisha Panchakam on the penultimate day of this lecture series. Tomorrow we conclude this lecture series with Hanumat Pancharatnam, which was introduced by Acharya Swamiji himself. I mentioned it in the morning, I am repeating it now. In my list of stotras, only 13 stotras were there. I was ending it with Guru Ashtakam. All the 13 are same, now retained. Only thing is Acharya Swamiji shifted Guru Ashtakam to second position. And he said, you close with Hanumat Pancharatnam. So this is his ajna, which was conveyed to me. And as per his instruction, we are closing with Hanumat Pancharatnam tomorrow morning at 6 to 7 in the Tamil session and evening 6:30 to 7:30 in the English session. Tomorrow is the closing day. So all of you please join either of these sessions as per convenience and let us close the Jnana Yajna with great satisfaction. Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadeva Sarvatra Govinda Nama Sankirtanam Govinda Govinda Shri Raja Rajeshwarya Jaya Jaya